Welcome back to session 4. This is Habib Sabah with you. We're going to talk about digital awareness marketing. Today's session is going to be about the outline social media and digital, and we're going to talk about several different things as well. Within that, the topic is going to be also the need of digital media in some governments as well. أهلا وسهلا فيكم بالجزء الرابع من Digital Awareness Marketing. اليوم حنحكي على الأوتلاين تبع السوشيال ميديا، يعني كيفية ترتيبها وما يترتب عليها القيام به، وبنحكي بعد احتياج بعض الحكومات للسوشيال ميديا لوصل المعلومات للمواطنين والمقيمين. الأوتلاين social media and digital must do for digital marketing, which means you need to do for digital marketing. First of all, the tools. حكينا نحن, we spoke about the different tools that in the previous video, session 3, we spoke about SWOT analysis and we spoke about the best. Of course, there are more than 2 tools in digital marketing, but essentially these are the most important 2 tools. And we discussed as well how to use the data analysis that you can gather from our website and so forth to be able to analyze what message we need to convey. So what do we need to know? We spoke about the tools. The language. Now, what type of language? There are different languages that we use. First of all, the language itself. It can be Arabic, English, French, Indian, whatever language we use. Or also we have to put some emotions in the language that we speak. For example, if it's a philanthropic organization, we have to be more emotional. Even the pictures are going to be a bit different. If we're going to talk about a water park, for example, or any park, it's all about happiness, and the music is there. Totally different approaches to the marketing campaign is used. And then we have the different practices as well. Where are we going to use these practices? What type of practices are we going to use? The overall best practices is based on the previous lesson learned that we had before when we started doing, or if we did previously a campaign, it succeeded, and what might we do for the future. I want to go back as well. For example, Ramadan is coming very soon. If you speak about any campaign for Ramadan, it's always this sort of Islamic music that we put, and it's always dates and milk and the emotions of Ramadan and stuff like that. You have the crescent, you have different themes that we work on when it comes to Ramadan. So that's the type of language that we use. It's overall the best practice. It works. For example, if we go back to Ramadan, we use the crescent and the music. It's working because it's emotional, and we work more about these emotions, and we go through these emotions again and again. People go through them, and we work on them. Another practice, we go back also. See, I'm going back and forth because I want you to understand exactly where language is as well. When we say overall best practices, if you realize on TV stations, the advertisements, when it's like the time for iftar time, they speak either local language or Arabic language. But when they go further more, then like an hour later, it's like Egypt time iftar. Then they start speaking Egyptian. When it's late, they start more or less Algerian or Moroccan. So you see, these are the types of things that we work on when it comes to also digital media. How to put a strategy and the objectives. Before setting out a strategy, we need to understand what's the objective. So once we have the objective, then we put the strategy. We need to understand also if we have the 5 M's. عندنا هدول الخمسة M اللي هن بيسموها resources. The 5 M's, we have the manpower. When I say manpower, it means also with the know-how that is needed in order to achieve the results that are required. We need to have the material, be it design, music, whatever material. We need to have also the machines that can actually support us. We need to have also the time to actually launch the marketing campaign or the digital marketing campaign. And last but not least, also we need to have the budget. Now these 5 M's should be in synergy. يعني بده يكونوا عندهم تناغم. يعني اليد العاملة مع المعرفة، المواد، المعدات، الوقت والمال. وهدول الخمسة بده يكون عندهم تناغم حتى نقدر نوصل الرسالة المطلوبة. Analyzing and learning، بدنا نتعلم من نجاحاتنا السابقة ونتعلم من الأمور اللي فشلنا فيها. So we learn from our successes and our failures from previous campaigns that we have done, where it works, where it doesn't work. It's similar to any other strategy. And then we have what we call the paid digital ads. These paid digital ads, these are ads that you pay actually. They're not what we call them organic. منهم ما هن العالم اشتغل عنا لأنه بيعرفونا. لا، نحن دفعنا فلوس حتى نجمع مثلا 100,000 200,000 follower. و out of this 200,000 follower and out of these 200 or 200,000 followers, maybe we'll have like maybe 10,000 or 20,000 that will be more or less interested in the product or services that we offer. So basically, again, this is very important to understand and to know that digital media is similar to any other strategy that we put, but it's vast, it's bigger, because it's not only in a specific area. We can actually go through continents depending on the product and service that you are offering. فهي منا محددة بحدود معينة، ولكن هي ممكن نحن نتخطى هذه الحدود لحدود أبعد. فمن هون نحن لابد نعرف كيفية وضع استراتيجيات للديجيتال ميديا. To wrap up about objectives, it's very simple. First of all, you have to define your social media goals and KPIs, key performance indicators. Meaning you have to find out, you have to have milestones. Understand your target audience. Who are your audience? Research about your competitors. Pick your best social media channels. And you have to come up with engaging content ideas. Prepare a social media calendar and track your progress. So choose goals that align to business objectives. Learn everything you can about your audience in details. We spoke about them. It's about demographics. Get to know your competition. Understand what the competitors are doing. Other governments, other companies, whatever is working. نرجع منقول, we do not copy. We do not copy, but we develop. We do not copy, but we develop. Then do a social media audit. Set up accounts and improve profiles. Find what inspires people, what inspires you, what attracts people. Create a social media content calendar. Create compelling content, attractive content. كنت عامل content يعني محتوى يجذب الناس، يخليهم يجوا لعندكم، يعني يهتموا بالمواضيع هيدي. And track performance and make adjustments. Very very important. كل هدول الأمور كتير مهم نعرفها وكتير مهم نشتغل عليها. Now let's talk about social media and government. How to keep citizens engaged. As you can read, it says we might assume that social media and governments don't mix. Well, actually they do mix, and they really mix very well. The reason is government's use of social media is centered around the information and helping the community, be it residents or nationals. Both fun facts and real-world tips are fair game. Here, education also means clarifying potential misinformation in addition to educating your followers. So, نرجع بنقول مرة تانية، دليل الإكزامبل الأمثل هو دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة. Social media in the UAE is a trend for the government as well. Everything is based on social media. The rulers of the UAE use social media to promote the UAE as well, which is amazing. It's outstanding. They know how to actually reach people. They know how to actually sell the UAE. They know how to actually make people understand what is the UAE. See, governments are not rigid anymore. You follow elections in different countries. The use of social media is immense to governments. So we need to understand that social media has an impact on many, many things, especially also when it comes to governments. As mentioned, government agencies and officials represent some of the most engaged with users on social media. And by the way, you can keep these notes. These are very important notes. Okay. You can check the FEMA, you can check the NASA, and then you can check the NHS. Now, Twitter also had an impact on elections in the US. We've all seen the news and the impact of Twitter on the elections in the US. So we need to understand the impact of social media, how to use government social media effectively. If you want to compare social media or media, the government social media and private companies, we might assume that we are comparing apple to oranges. We need to understand that governments nowadays are following the trends just like people, and they're using it properly. Every now and then, I check on my TikTok and I see that there's a new law. Then I say, okay, this is a new law. I need to check it out. And it's through social media. So the reach of social media went from becoming something that is the government using social media is actually to create awareness amongst people. And that's very important. And it's easier as well because everybody has a social media account, be it Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Somehow the message is going to reach. So as we were saying, while social presence might not be tied to selling a product or service, consider that your big picture goals aren't so different. As a government entity, you want to reach to the mass. هلا في فرق بين إذا أنا بدي أعمل دعاية أو بدي وصل رسالة للمواطنين والمقيمين بالدولة على أنه بدي وصل رسالة للعالم كله. كل واحدة منا إلى أمورها الخاصة. مثلا, one of the things, an example is that if I want to send a message through social media from the government, it's a bit different than targeting the mass outside the borders of the UAE or within the UAE. If I want to promote the UAE, definitely it should be outside the UAE and the UAE as well. But if I want to promote, if I want to discuss a specific change in the law, then I need to target people living within the UAE, be it nationals or residents. And this is what we see in social media when the government targets residents and nationals living within the UAE. Now, establishing a sense of trust with your community as you grow your follower count. You need to check the credibility of what is being said. That's one thing. And you have to make sure that everything is authentic. Remember, I know that the government, when they use social media, they're actually, they might be paying for it. So there's no direct benefit. The benefit is an intangible benefit that you are sending to the nationals and residents living within the UAE. Responding to comments and questions from your followers, you have to double check as well. When somebody asks the government a question, you have to see if this person has a credible account. Is the question credible? We need to answer in an authentic way, correct way, concise way. Keeping followers informed and up to date. Definitely. That's for sure. And this is what is happening within I'm kept informed about the changes that are happening within the law. And I follow up every time I check if something new has happened. The beauty of social media and government is that your community and constituency are already there. Therefore, your job is to publish content that attracts attention from your followers while likewise encouraging engagement. And that's how it works. Government social media. The next session, we will discuss about some strategies that can be helpful in government social media. Thank you very much. This will be the end of session 4. See you next session. be positive.